How's it going? Welcome back out to the Willamette National Forest, Blue River Reservoir for my review of Lather Blaster 3000 from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Full disclosure, right up front, I did not pay for the soap and splash. They were sent to me for review by Doug and Fran at Phoenix Artisan. Thank you again, guys. And I like to be right up front. Full disclosure, the links in the description to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements are affiliate links, and what that means is I will profit 10% from your purchase. So whatever you purchase, if you spend $100, I'll get $10. It's a 10% commission is what an affiliate link is. This was originally a collaboration with Rich Hansen at Rich Man's Shaving. I'll put the original artwork right up there. Now, while I've always liked that original artwork, I love this artwork, especially that blue. Got the matching splash right here. I think that blue just really pops. I hope I captured it well in my Shave of the Day photos. So that's Blue River Reservoir behind me. We haven't been here in quite a while, and that's because this part of the forest was closed because up above here was a forest fire that has since been contained and I believe fully extinguished. So we are back up at this portion of the reservoir for the first time in quite some time. If you saw my Opulence Harbinger review with Glenn Sherman, we were on the west side of the lake. The lake is about 7 miles long, 6 or 8 miles long. It's really long in length. I have a whole big arsenal of rocks right here from Miss Luna. Today is Luna's 4th birthday. I'm applying the ice tube. That is the cube mentholated in a travel-sized jar. Absolutely love it. It is my favorite pre-shave soap. In fact, it's the only pre-shave soap that I use. I've tried many. And in my experience, there's no other pre-shave that is necessary because this thing is way better than all of them. And while it's mentholated, it's not so mentholated that like it makes my eyes water. It's just, for me, it's a great balance of mentholated. It's about 75, 80 degrees right now. A beautiful October day, the 6th, right? October 6th. I wanted to do this review yesterday. Didn't work out. We went down to Central Oregon. Central Point is the name of the town for Emily's soccer game. I was going to do this review from a place called Table Rock. I had never explored that area before, and followed Google Maps to a place that I thought we could go to, and then we got there and we got to where Google said to go, and we kept running into private property, no trespassing, different signs like that, and so we just gave up on it and drove back home. So that's why we're here today, a day later than I wanted to do the review. So in honor of the original collaboration, and because this brush matches the label in my opinion so darn well, I have a Rich Man Shaving Ultra Luxe Blood Oath brush. That is a 26 millimeter, I believe, 26 or 28. I think it's a 20, might be 28, but it is a beautiful pure badger, or not pure badger, it's like a silver tip. It is just one of the absolute best badgers in my den. If you ever get a chance to get one, these things are hard to come by. I can't recommend grabbing one enough. The name Ultra Luxury, it fits. It really is. You're not going to find a softer, not out there. You're really not. No backbone to speak of. So if you like a brush with backbone, that would be the only exception. If you want like a top of the line badger that doesn't have backbone, this is it. An Ultra Luxe from Rich Man Shaving. So this fragrance, let's get right into it. We've been up here playing for a few hours. She's right down here below me, waiting. Where are you? Are you really down that low? Oh, there you are. Can't see you in the shadow. So the birthday girl can't get enough of me throwing rocks, and you'll see some of that in the B-roll. Why we actually, oh my gosh, it's way out there now. I don't know if you can see it. One of our tennis balls are out there in the middle of the lake. If this is your first time watching one of my videos at this location, that is not a drought. The water level is like that on purpose. This is a flood control reservoir. Back to the fragrance, while the birthday girl goes after her rock, and that does drop off similar or identically to how it drops off over there. This is a creamy, woody, masculine, modern barbershop. If I was to redo my top 5 barbershops, in fact, I'm thinking about doing a volume 2 for my Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements barbershops because they've done so many great ones over the years. This fragrance would be in that top 5. I had thought before that I had some samples of this, and maybe I do. I looked for them and couldn't find them. This is a scent revamp, so even if I had it, this would be slightly different than the previous one. All of Doug and Fran's scent revamps have been exactly that. Bigger, better, bolder. I think the best comparison or the best contrast, the best example of that was with the Sakura Blue that they did earlier this year, a revamp of that, and it was a very worthy revamp. Are you looking for Athena? You see her? Okay. Saw my wife. She's up above me reading a book. You'll see that in the B-roll. So I'm not sure if I ever did experience the original thing. I had thought that I had, but I couldn't find the sample for it. Hi, Athena. Athena is our 7-month-old German Shepherd, and Luna is our now 4-year-old German Shepherd. Her birthday is today. And she's laying down, waiting for Dad to throw another rock. If I had to give this fragrance a number, it would be a 10. A 10 all day long. I absolutely love it. I can't get enough of it. Emily gives it an 8, and Emily gives it an 8, and Alexis gives it a 7, which are great scores, being that this is not their type of fragrance that they would seek out, meaning that it's not like a modern cologne-y, sweet, fresh kind of fragrance, which is what they're into. So I think those 2 scores from them are great scores. In fact, I know it is because a lot of times I'm lucky to get a 4 or a 5 out of them with a lot of fragrances. Regardless though, scent notes right up here. I'm not going to read them all off. The talc is definitely this soft, powdery, but at the same time, it's like this nostalgia. And I know I said this is like a modern fragrance, and it is, but the powdery, soft talcness note that I get off of this fragrance. To show you, I'm going to put this out of the sun real quick. It's like for me, it's nostalgic. It really is. And it brings home that barbershop type vibe that you would expect from a lot of barbershops. This doesn't smell like any other barbershop in my den, not at all. I'm not going to be able to get away with doing that. Let's do this. No mirror today. The sandalwood, warm, creamy, a hint of sweetness, just this perfect sandalwood, the kind of sandalwood that just makes you feel cozy and ready for this time of year, even though it's a super hot day right now for me here in the Pacific Northwest. Where did she go? Did you guys see where my wife went? Right after the sandalwood, we run into the bourbon. A Bubble Stash from Hop Valley IPA. The bourbon is rich. Now, I don't really get any booziness out of it. It's not like that kind of bourbon to me and my nose. I'm not getting that rich, boozy kind of bourbon out of it. But what I think it is doing is it's bringing this rich, like oak, vanilla type sophistication to the fragrance. I don't pick out a note that I'm like, oh, that's bourbon, right? I don't pick out a note that I'm like, oh, that's boozy and that's coming from the bourbon. I don't detect that. And I've tried. This is my 4th shave with it, and I've been wearing it for 5 days now. 5 different days. That then runs us into the Tobacco Absolute. Excuse me. I have a hard time identifying exactly what that Tobacco Absolute is doing, because this is another one of those fragrances that is absolutely an orchestra. All the notes are coming together and creating a new fragrance. The stainless steel Ascension razor, I have a first use Rex Platinum in it. Got it tightened down nice and snug. Gonna do about a quarter, let's see, snug, quarter, another quarter-ish. We'll adjust if we need to. So with the Tobacco, though, Absolute, I think it's giving it, adding depth and complexity to the fragrance. I don't really pick out anything either that makes me say, oh, there's the Tobacco Absolute, right? Like that type of thing. Right after it, we run into Peruvian Myra resin. And my understanding is that is another word or like variant of myrrh. And that, along with the sandalwood up above it, and maybe even the tobacco could be elevating the woodiness of this, because this is a creamy, woody, masculine, modern barbershop. We're pretty much alone up here, but there are a couple other people in this part of the woods. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. It sounds like they're doing cookies or something, Brody's, in the distance. And so that myrrh, though, is bringing with it a slight spicy, dark woodiness to it that is also, I think, playing with that warm richness of the sandalwood and making this like a perfect barbershop for fall and winter, adding to the masculine vibe of it all. And I love it. I really, really, really love this fragrance. And then we run into Indonesian brown Damar resin. I have my notes set up right below you guys, a stool to my left and a stool right below you as well. So Indonesian brown Damar resin, that's also known as cat eye resin. Did I say this is a woody barbershop? It is. It's freaking amazing. I think it's kicking up the dark, had a bug on my finger, the dark, rich deepness of this fragrance is just, adding another level to that. But at the same time, I did a lot of looking into what this note does in fragrances, because I'd never seen it before this review. Rinse bowl right below you as well on my stool here. Citrusy and earthy are two things that it describes bringing to a fragrance. I didn't really pick out, got it on the back of my right hand. I don't know if it's the strawberry aldehydes that we'll talk about in a second, or if it is that citrusy to it, but there is like this brightness, this zing is what Doug refers to on the sales page for this. There's like a zing to the fragrance. I do have my spray bottle. That is prevalent in the middle to the base, and it kind of lingers in the dry down as well, where there's this lightness to it, a citrusy zing, like Doug said. And I can't help but wonder if that isn't coming from that Indonesian brown Damar resin or cat eye resin. And then we have that strawberry aldehyde. Aldehydes are present in a lot of fragrances throughout the world, whether it's rose, orange peels. I mean, they're everywhere. Aldehydes are. A strawberry aldehyde is probably synthetic. So the strawberry aldehydes, though, is exactly what you might think when you hear the word, and it's down there in the bottom, which is weird because you think that a note like this would be up at the top, but I think that's part of what the brilliance of this fragrance. PAA makes all their own fragrances from scratch in Doug's laboratory, like I like to call it, and I think that is actually what he calls it. But Doug has a lab where he makes all his fragrances, and it's cool because what I personally believe this fragrance is doing is it's reinforcing the woody notes that are above it, because it's the very bottom note, and so it's reinforcing everything that's above it and like lifting it up, so like acting as a support, but then at the same time, like, you know, like holding everything and kind of bridging it up somehow. It's the only way I can think to describe it, because as you get into the dry down, that's what it really seems to be doing. But at the same time, as it's doing, it's kind of like, I'm a schnerd, I'm a frag head, I'm a nerd. It's almost like, you know, think of like something growing up out of the ground and kind of like how it lifts up the soil, right? And it's just, it really feels like as you get into that dry down, that is doing exactly that. And what it's doing with it is bringing with it this bright, fruity, sweet, fresh zing, to use Doug's word for it again, to the fragrance. I love these Rex Platinums in this razor. I love this razor. If you don't own any of the Ascensions, I recommend checking out this one. If money is tight or you like the look of the black one, the Ascension Select, you can't go wrong with any of these Ascension razors. The copper, the stainless steel, or the Ascension Select. Even the dead bug, even wearing shorts, including the aluminum, which I have. So this fragrance, though, the best way to describe it is just, it's this creamy, woody, masculine, modern barbershop. There was a huge demand for it to come back. Doug and Fran brought it back. It's only back for a limited time. So if you are interested, don't wait too long. It will be gone. And that has a lot to do with just all the fall fragrances that are coming, and them being a small business and not being able to have time or room to make everything. It's just a matter of logistics. I'm going to do a quick third pass, focusing on right here where I missed, and right here. One second. So today is October 6th. For those of you who follow my content, I start my new job tomorrow. I haven't talked about it a whole lot, and that's just because I didn't want my former employer hearing me talk about it on YouTube, because there's people that follow my content in and around my place of work, right? And already including my new place of work, which I'll talk about at some point. But I just want to give you a little background on what I'm doing, and that it officially starts tomorrow with my first day on the job just being in orientation. I hate being the new guy, but here I find myself being the new guy. And so I embrace it because I'm really excited for this job. Immediately right out of the gate, I have a $1.42 an hour raise. Dry off my towel. After 90 days, I get a few more dollars added on to my hourly wage. So I'll be making a significant amount more of money, working 4 10-hour shifts with Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I'll be driving truck locally. 24-foot straight truck is what I'm currently assigned to. I have a Class A CDL. I can drive just about anything on the road. That's what I used to do before I started driving a bus with my currently former employer. Starting at 5 a.m., but the job site where I go to, get my truck and start my day is only 2.7. Yes, literally 2.7, less than 3 miles. Yes, I've counted the distance to work. So I'm really excited for that, because as of right now, my previous job is way on the other side of Eugene. And so, it's a 30-minute drive opposed to what's now going to be a 5-minute drive. And I'm basically going to be a milkman. The employer is Umpqua Dairy, a super famous, well-known company out west in California, Washington, and Oregon. They're in a few other states too, but out here they're like a household name, to where anyone who's lived out here at any time at all knows the name. I've actually thought about going to work for them before, but I never applied. And I just got tired of the artificial intelligence, yes, literally AI, that was coming more and more into my job and my past employer, and it was just time for a change. And so I'm really excited for it. It's a dedicated route to the University of Oregon. So I'll be working with a lot of the same customers, clientele, however you want to look at them, making the same deliveries, but different days of the week, but every Monday I'll see the same people, that kind of thing. Let's get cleaned up. So I couldn't be more excited. And I welcome the physical part of it. I really do. That was the one thing that was, kind of nice about driving bus, was that there wasn't a physicality to it. But at the same time, though, as I get older, I feel it more and more when I'm out here hiking and, just doing the typical thing. And I don't have little kids to chase around like I used to. Our youngest is 16. And hi, Luna. Luna's waiting for me to throw another rock. The dog never stops. We've literally been out here for hours, playing and throwing rocks. They've been in and out of the lake a couple of times. I've been told during the hiring process that people wear pedometers, and on this route, I'll be walking anywhere from 10 to 11 miles a day. So I am so looking forward to that. Of course, there'll be days that I absolutely regret it and wish that I wasn't, right? Witch hazel, galactic witch hazel from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. I just put it in this little bottle. Makes it easier. Got WH on it for witch hazel. Starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll have plenty of time to get home, do after school activities, be home in time for dinner, all that stuff. Home every night. It's a local job. I'll never leave town. And with a great company that's been in business since 1931, they've never done any layoffs or anything like that. Delivering milk, juice, cheese, right? You name it, all the dairy stuff. Ice cream, that's right. Yeah, they're super famous for ice cream. And one addiction that I still partake in several times a week is ice cream. Beer, almost never. To the point that I've become a cheap date, when once upon a time I was anything but a cheap date. But now I am a cheap date. This is only my second beer, and it will probably be my last beer today. Which is a good thing, because I got about a 45-minute drive home. So seriously, I can't be more excited in a lot of different ways. I'll put the ingredients list right up there with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. All of their, literally, I challenge you, I've said this before, I challenge you to find an aftershave splash cologne from them that has the same ingredients. When it comes to their soap base, they have an actual base, an actual formula that they stick to. But with their splashes, every splash, you will find a variety of different ingredients in it. And so this one, I won't read it out loud, but that's what you see that listed. And, they have definitely similarities, glycerin being one of them. You're always going to find glycerin. And then the silk, and that is a vegan silk too. It's straight up a vegan silk that is not from the silkworm. But Shave Chaser is one, And then what was the other one I was reviewing not too long ago that I told you guys my skin really seemed to do well with? This is another one that I feel like one or two of these different ingredients my skin just seems to really be loving. Getting about 8 hours of wear out of the fragrance, a good 6 hours of projection, about a foot bubble with the projection, not too strong, just about right. Doug is good at nailing scent strength, and they've done that once again with this one. I cannot recommend it enough if you are into barbershops, if you're into creamy, woody. Athena, she's been chasing bugs. That's probably where she is now. There's really nowhere for her to go. But if you're into barbershops, it's good stuff, man. It really is. Star Jelly, slightly mentholated, unscented. This is a fragrance that, if I can afford it before it goes away, I will be buying the whole line. The solid, the EDP, the deodorant, and the Star Jelly, and the soap, the shampoo, the bath bar. And I love it. It is one of those fragrances that I genuinely want the entire line of. Doug and Fran have another fragrance that will be releasing sometime in October that I have at home, and it is a new fragrance to the Phoenix Artisan library, and it's an absolute banger, just like this one. No, in some ways it's better, but it's a different fragrance. I can't recommend this one enough. Thank you again, Doug, Fran, and Huxley, for sending this out to me for review. Once again, I did not pay for it. It's a little big things, my friends. And once again, you see it. That little DOG right there, turning 4, spending the day with my beautiful bride and our 7-month-old Athena. So you got a Luna right there on the right-hand side of your screen. She's the birthday girl. And then Athena, who's sniffing something. She's like, yeah, let's go, guys. Those are my little big things. Oh, no, you're not sneaking. Keep it on her. Keep it on her. Say hi. Take care, you guys. We'll see you next time. She's calling me a dingus, not the dog. Don't let her make you think she's calling the dog that. See you next time. Welcome to the B-roll. As always, I trust that the shave went well. There goes the birthday girl and 7-month-old Athena behind her. So if you look way out there in the lake, let's see how I do on zooming on it. I don't see it on the screen. Let's try again. One more zoom, guys. There it is, right there. I found it. That's the tennis ball. I don't know why. When we're at home, Luna loves to play with balls because I guess there's no rocks. But when we come out here to places like this, she would much rather have a rock 9 times out of 10 than she would a ball. And I had thrown the ball for her a few times when all of a sudden she decided she didn't want to go get that one. Come over here with the sun behind me. And that does drop off very similar to how it does over there. So here's my setup. You guys have been facing that way. How many rocks did I go through during the shave? It's my stockpile for throwing for Luna. Got a few of my things set up here on this old tree stump. Backpack down below. My 2 stools. I do record these before the shave. That's the direction I've been facing. Setting sun to the west. It's 4:45. My beautiful bride reading a book. What you reading? Don't let the devil ride. Well, I guess I won't be riding home if she goes by that. There she is. Well, thank you guys for joining us out here on Luna's big day, the big 4. Thank you again, Doug and Fran. It really is a little big things, you guys. Getting out here, just, doing the old man family time. Kids are all grown. Emily, doesn't want to come for all these trips anymore. It's all good. I got Luna and Athena and Alexis. You guys take care. We'll see you next time. Love the echo.
Oh yeah, the ball's in there.